KCAA, where every day is a great day.
It's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you without a dope beat. Step two, step two, step two, step two, step two, step two. Think it. It's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you without a dope beat. Step two, step two, step two, step two, step two. Think it, baby girl.
Oh, Tay, you said you wanted that real news. Well, I'm Bon Johnson, and it's time for News That Blows.
Hey, welcome back. What's up?
Hello, everybody. I am Bon Johnson, and this is News That Blows. Welcome. We're rocking it right here on KCAA Radio for you all today on a Saturday night, and this is our Saturday night news kind of, we're a news show, but we're kind of a party thing. Y'all know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we get it in like that. All right, here's something I noticed this week that I thought I would start off our show sharing. I don't know who milks a crisis photo op better, Donald Trump or those damn comfort dogs. But I got to tell you, anytime something goes down and it gets ugly, either Trump shows up to get his picture taken with some poor, battered, beaten person, or them damn comfort dogs show up. It is the weirdest thing. There is one thing I do know, is that the world would probably be a much better place if both the comfort dogs and Donald Trump both knew how to lick their own balls. We'd probably never even see the rat bastard. Donald Trump, who? I don't know who that is. What the hell? We're going to talk about that and what happened this week in News That Blows right after this.
Inland Empire, Bon Johnson here. Now, we all know that recycling saves the planet. But what do you do with your old TV sets, laptops, and computers? You can't just toss them out with the trash. You can pay someone else to come out and dispose of them for you, or you can do what I did. Take your old TV sets, laptops, and computers down to FNG Recycling Corporation and get paid for them. Another way FNG recycles your TV sets, laptops, and computers is by fixing them. Yes, they also do repairs at a great price. These guys are open 7 days a week from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's FNG Recycling Corporation. Give them a call at 818-477-8072. Or just drop in. FNG Recycling Corporation is located in San Bernardino County at 18907 Bellflower Street in Adelanto, baby. Tell them Bond sent you.
You bet. Howdy, folk. Now, as you can imagine, it gets awfully boring out here on the prairie, except for Saturday nights. That's when we all sit around the campfire and listen to News That Blows. That there Bon Johnson fella, why he's something else. News That Blows with Bon Johnson, right here on the Inland Empire's own KCAA Radio.
See, that wasn't so bad, was it? Now, let's get back to more News That Blows.
Let's do it.
That's right. Let's get back to more of this News That Blows. And, that wasn't so bad, y'all. Admit it, my commercials rock. I have so much fun doing them. And you can probably hear when I do them. I'm just having a hoot, man. I got to tell you, this whole radio thing is kind of cool. It's kind of fun. We're going to be doing it here at KCAA for a while longer, and I'm proud to announce that I will be starting a network called KSJWnetwork.com, on which, thank you, in which we'll be having not only News That Blows and the 420 Music Break, we will also be having a lot of the other shows that we'll be spinning off out of News That Blows and a few other things that I've developed. I got friends who develop shows, and so we're going to put them all on there. So enough of the news that rocks with cool-ass me. Let's get on to some of this News That Blows. Yeah, you know what? And there's plenty of news that blows this week, every week, because let's face it, as long as there's news, there's going to be news that blows. All right, here's one that really got in my craw this week, y'all. They're already starting to blame pot. Oh, the red bastards. Okay, I'll get into the details on that later. But you knew as soon as it became legal, just about anything that happened was going to get blamed on marijuana.
All right, here we go.
Oh yeah, so here we go. That's already in. That's already in effect. All right. There were actually 3, maybe 4 car chases this week. Ooh, yeah, it was a big day, a big week for car chases, and as you might imagine. All of them ended badly.
Ooh.
Yeah. One of them ended right there in my hometown. Our hometown of Inglewood. That's right.
That felt good.
Inglewood, yeah.
That's what you just say from now on.
Inglewood, yeah. Inglewood, and as I love to say, y'all, the only city spelled with 2 O's but pronounced with 6. That's right, baby. Don't get it twisted. Right. Inglewood. So, yeah, one of them car crashes ended right up there in Inglewood. We'll talk a little bit about that. It's craziness. In Georgia, a teacher with a handgun. Remember, we talked about teachers and handguns. This is a hoot. A teacher with a handgun flips out in his classroom, in his empty class.
What?
Yes. Oh, we're going to talk about that. That is a classic.
Okay.
And couldn't have been better timing after our illustrious leader decided everybody should be strapped that teaches a class.
Bruce Willis.
This couldn't have happened. Yeah, this couldn't have happened. This guy was no Bruce Willis in Die Hard. Okay, this guy wasn't even Bruce Chillis.
Wronged my family.
Right, he was not even Bruce Chillis in Die Limp. All right, so let's just, anyways, getting a little further on with our news that blows. The mayor in Oakland, Elizabeth Libby Schaff, she warned immigrants about ICE activity going down in her town, and there was a huge uproar over that. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, folks. The Sierra Madre police officer who was caught illegally selling firearms about a year ago has finally been arrested. So there's once again, there's always everything we talk about here. There's another story behind it that we're going to get into a little bit more. And Ryan Seacrest, come on down. You're the next contestant on The Pervs Are Ripe. Oh, yes, Ryan Seacrest has been accused of being a pervidocious and treating his wardrobe makeup mistress with absolute total disrespect.
It's just that season, man.
You know what? It's all coming out because it's coming out, but we'll talk about it all later. We're just letting people know what we're going to talk about right now. So Ryan Seacrest was definitely in the news, and of course Ryan Seacrest works the red carpet for Entertainment Channel, and it's been a big deal. You know, should they boycott him? People are saying that they don't want to. They're going to pass him on the red carpet, and we'll talk more about it. But in any case, I was speaking of Ryan Seacrest. Oscar got the boot. You know, the big gold Oscar got the boot. He wasn't at he's not going to be there this year. Apparently, I don't know what happened, but Oscar got the boot. And Oscar, of course, has no hands, nor a mouth, nor even a penis. So I can't wait to see how he managed to sexually harass his way out of a job. Okay, so Oscar. All right, who knew? Jared Kushner this week, on a little more serious note, it's definitely very serious for our illustrious leader. Jared Kushner had his security clearance downgraded. Ooh, yeah, that's big. That's big because this was the only guy who actually read any of the security briefings. At the same time, Hope Hicks resigns from her gig as the White House Director of Communications. And speaking of fabulous women, Babs, you know, Barbara Streisand, Babs has 2 clones made of her fabulous dog. Yeah, awesome. You heard it right. Clones made of her dog. We're going to talk about that because it's kind of weird on a few levels, actually. Yeah. Our last 3 stories this week, folks. Boko Haram kidnapped more schoolgirls this week. Yeah. Yeah, that definitely needs some mentioning. A humanitarian pause was granted by Russia in Syria. Remember we talked about how they're bombing the hell out of them up there and then just anybody. Yeah. Well, they called for a humanitarian pause. It didn't happen. But once again, the fact that it was Russia calling for it in Syria
makes all the difference.
Kind of, you know. It leads to conversation, which is what we do here on News That Blows. Another thing, Putin, speaking of leading to conversation, Putin gave a big speech this week. Oh, my goodness. I'm sure y'all heard about it and saw some of the stuff that he was talking about. We're going to talk a little bit about it, and that leads us right back to where we left off last week, folk. I hope y'all did your homework and read The Art of War by Sun Tzu this week, because that pertains quite a lot to what's going down with Putin, what's going down with our country right now. It has all been taken play by play out of The Art of War. I'm Bon John Sin. We'll be right back.
Greetings, Inland Empire. I've got a question for you. What do you do if you've just graduated from high school, aren't ready to go to a university yet, and are nowhere near ready to get a career started? Or if you just want to upgrade your skill sets to get yourself a better job? I'm Bon Johnson from KCAA Radio's News That Blows, and I've also got an answer for you. Further your education at San Bernardino Valley College. San Bernardino Valley College offers courses that will ready you for today's job market, taught by today's top-notch instructors. It doesn't matter if you're fresh out of high school or if you have 20 years on the job. Go to valleycollege.edu and get your future started today. Hi, I'm Bon Johnson. I host KCAA Radio's News That Blows. I'm also trying to become a published writer. And when I first decided to write my book, I was given some great advice. I was told that a writer's most valuable tool is their butt, because the first thing you need to do to become a writer is put your butt in a chair and start writing. Great advice, but not altogether true. The first thing you need to do to become a writer is know how to read. Reading truly is fundamental. Yeah, that feels good. I like it. Let's do some more News That Blows.
Yeah, I do like that. This does feel kind of good, y'all.
Smooth.
Well, you know what? Every week here on News That Blows, let me do my little hosty legal jobby thing. This is News That Blows right here on KCAA Radio, 102.3 FM, 106.5 FM, and 1050 AM in the Inland Empire, and KCAAradio.com all over the world. All right, me groovies. As always, we have our segment in our show, which, by the way, is a favorite to many people because a lot of people are in the same boat as me and could use some serious advice when it comes to relationships. We are about to do our Ask Lady Albright segment. First off, let's introduce Kirsten Maxine Albright. What's up, girl?
Hello. Hi.
You doing good this week?
I'm fine, thank you.
Did you
How
have a
are
good, great week?
Yeah, it's raining.
Raining,
it's
so
cold,
you didn't get to play golf. Go on and say it. I know.
didn't get to play golf.
I know that left you in a bed frame indeed. I know how it is. I didn't get to play basketball this week either, and I'm a little bit crabby and itchy myself, so I totally understand. All right, well, we do have a listener who sent us in a letter. This is from a young lady named Jennifer. Jennifer asks, "Dear Lady Albright, I've been dating my boyfriend for nearly 3 years. He's a really great guy. He always thinks of me, and my parents just love him. We started having sex early in our relationship, but he's never given me an orgasm while we were having sex. I fake it to make him think he's giving me an orgasm, but he just doesn't. Sometimes he'll carry on, thinking that he will make me have an orgasm with time, so I fake it." Yeah. I don't want to go on faking it, but I've tried not faking it, and he thinks that there's a problem and starts asking me if there's something wrong. Right? I'm so embarrassed and don't know what to do. I don't think I can tell him at this point, and now I'm thinking about breaking up with him and just learning from my big mistake. I'd be grateful for any advice you can give me. Jennifer A.
Jimmy.
Don't fake it.
Right? Hello?
I mean, if you fake it, firstly, you're going to get yourself into trouble at some point, aren't you? Because if you're staying with that guy, you've got to fake it forever.
Right. Well, like she said, she's stuck with it now.
Exactly. And now she doesn't want to fake it anymore, but now she's stuck. But this is the thing. When you fake it, and I just want to say, women asked, 80% of women asked said they faked orgasms before.
I have heard that.
Yeah. That's a lot of women.
Fact.
But worstly, what that means is there's a lot of guys out there that think they know what they're doing, but they actually don't. Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. You're not only not doing yourself any favors, you're not doing them any favors either.
No.
I would much rather have a woman who would teach me something than fake it.
I understand the point that they don't want to bruise their partner's ego. They don't want to make their partner feel bad.
Put it on them.
But, yeah, but again, what does this go back to?
Communication
It
and
does.
honesty.
It does. It
What
does.
every relationship is built around.
Yeah. And the thing is as well, a lot of women, I think it's about 60% of women will not usually have orgasm through penetration. That means there needs to be a lot of foreplay. There needs to be a lot of stuff going on rather than just sex.
Absolutely.
And if men think that they're hitting the spot when they're having sex, they're not going to bother about the foreplay and all the other stuff. So that means faking it is a no-go.
And I'm not trying to be overly pushing on your book, but guys, if you go and look in the book Relationships in a Nutshell, it will show you this little thing called the clitoris. You might want to learn how to work that. Early in my life, I had a woman. I was, like 18, and I was dating a 40-year-old woman, and she showed me how she gets her own clitoris off. And from that day on, I've been God. For real. But of course, I'm a guy. And I wouldn't know if a woman was faking, but I've never felt that a woman was faking with me. And personally, I don't think it would make me feel as good as it would bother me to find out later. Well, to find out later, at some point, it's got to come out that she's faking. At some point, you've got to look up from what you're doing and going, this is looking awfully staged. This is looking awfully like it did last time. There's a when you have an act, there's a certain.
I think honestly, if it was the men faking, women would find out. I think it's men, they choose not to. I think.
Well, yeah, but
I don't understand.
Well, in porn, they have what they call a FIP, which is a fake internal pop. They actually do have a name for guys faking it in porn. That is actually a thing in porn. But in real life, that doesn't get you by because, in real life, she can see things that the camera doesn't, and there are certain things going on that I won't go into too much detail here, just because I'm not sure if I can.
The thing is, though. So if it's so difficult to make a woman have an orgasm through penetration, it should be so much more important for guys and girls to understand their own body and men to understand their girlfriend or their wife's body.
Right.
And there's nothing better than for a woman to learn her own body. And that is the most important thing that she can do before she can even begin to start reaching.
How you're going to teach to somebody else what you don't know yourself. And to me, once again, I know you have sent your letter in to Lady Albright, but my opinion, which I am not shy with, as we all know. My opinion is you've got to be honest. You are guaranteeing yourself a life of crappy sex when you fake orgasms.
That's true. That's true.
You are turning around and telling himself that he's good at something that he stinks at, and all it takes is for you to look him in the eyes and go, baby, why don't you try this? You don't have to tell him he sucks at it.
And I want to say that if there's any guys out there that have suddenly noticed that their girlfriend or their wife starts asking for more stimulation or more foreplay, she might be trying to tell you something.
And you might want to listen.
Yes.
Yes. It's funny. I believe it was Chris Rock has a comedy routine where he talks about, when you're married, you got to learn how to recycle the punani. And what he's talking about is finding ways to keep it fresh, finding ways to keep it exciting. You're going to be with the same woman the rest of your life, and physically it is what it is. The only way to keep it fresh and go next level is mentally. And when you're faking it and being dishonest with each other, how do you do that?
You can't.
You can't. No. So there you go, Jennifer A.
Good luck, Jennifer.
Good luck, Jennifer, and I really do hope you work it out with your guy. Of course, if you don't, my email address is bonjonsyn, BONJONSYN @gmail.com, and we'll go ahead and hook you right up with that orgasm, mama. You be aight. Did I just do that? Oh, man.
Bang,
bang. Bang, bang. Thank you, Lady Albright, as always. You rock with your advice. Love it. All right, folks, let's get let's get into a little bit of details on some of this news that blows that we talked about. First off, they're blaming pot. A statistic just came out that's saying more car accidents have happened over the since marijuana has been legalized.
Okay.
And in this fine print on the bottom of the article, it says, and cell phone usage. Everywhere I look, there are people on their cell phones driving around. I have yet to see anyone smoking a joint. Everyone's so freaked out that they're going to get DUIs now. People are worse about it now than it was when it was illegal. People are actually more freaked out now because of this whole campaign that they put out over drunken driving. They have no way to test it. It's completely a farce. But people are more freaked out now. I find people who used to sit around and smoke joints in the park now won't even smoke in the park. They're so damn worried about it. People are more freaked out now that it's legal than it was before. But they turned around and tried to throw the statistic out as if they didn't say it was because of marijuana use. They just said since marijuana became legal, there have been since methamphetamine broke out as an epidemic, there have been a whole bunch more car accidents where people were smoking pot too, but they were on meth.
People killed as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like the way they work these statistics is just such a bunch of crap. Don't buy into any of it, people. On me, don't buy into any of that crap. The homie who did the car chase and ended up in Inglewood,
right?
He crashed right next to the Forum. There was a Demi Lovato concert going on. I like some Demi too, but damn, yo. Come on, dude. That's going through a little bit too much to go see your girl. My sister went to Kelso, right up the street, the Kelso Elementary School, right up the street from where old boy crashed the car. So yeah, I used to, my first babysitter was around the corner from there, man. So yeah, I'm long old Inglewood old school kid here.
That's right.
All right, you already know. Okay, now this cat in Georgia who lost it, this teacher. I mean, first off, can we get a huzzah to the amazing timing behind our illustrious leader? And by the way, I don't know if you guys noticed, his name isn't in too much of the news this week directly. There is a great deal of stuff that involves him, but not a lot of it is directly Trump stuff. Which is kind of nice. That's why I keep saying our illustrious leader, because I myself am just so damn tired of even saying the word Trump. It's overblown. You can't do news without talking about him because he goes out of his way to stay in it. So obviously those of us who go out of our way to report it must do so to do our job. But I'm just so damn sick and tired of talking about the fool. I'm going to talk about this idiot out in Georgia. After our illustrious leader made this big statement that we need to have school teachers packing. And this guy apparently packs all the time. He's had his gun. He lost it. He got angry. I don't know what he got angry over, but he snapped. He sent all the kids out of class, pulled out his gun, and started shooting out the window of the school.
Kids?
Not at the kids, just randomly shooting. So there you go, folks. Teachers with guns. That's it couldn't have happened at a better time. I'm Bon Johnson. This is a crazy world. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, your boy Bon Johnson here. Now, if this weren't the radio, you'd be able to see me strutting down the runway in my super sexy Victoria's Secret lingerie. All right, I'm not really strutting down the runway, but I am wearing Victoria's Secret lingerie. And damn it, I feel sexy. Victoria's Secret can make me feel sexy. Just imagine what they'll do for you.
Go to victoriassecret.com and get your sexy on tonight.
Victoria's Secret. Go on, feel sexy. Oh, Tay, I've helped a gang of friends move over the years, and I thought I was pretty good at it. That was until I watched the guys at Golden Hands Moving and Relocating Company pack up and move my friends, well, his everything. Oh, I still got my pizza and beer. I just got to enjoy it while watching them do the work instead of me. And that didn't suck. I'm Bon Johnson. And I'm here to tell you that moving doesn't have to suck. Call Golden Hands Moving and Relocating Company and let them do the work. They even seem to like it. That's Golden Hands Moving and Relocating Company. Call them at 310-809-5095 and tell them Bon sent you.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, K292FQ Riverside, and K293CF Moreno Valley.
If I haven't offended you yet, stick around for some more of this news that blows. I'm sure I'll get to you sooner or later.
That's right, I probably will. Probably will, especially if you happen to have voted to the right. There's a very good chance that my opinions will seem left to you, and you won't like them. But quite frankly, I am an equal opportunity, kiss my ass kind of guy. The left
We don't
can
give
go,
a gosh
yeah,
darn.
yeah. The left can go ahead and nuzzle right up with the right. Quite frankly, I've said it before. I'll say it again. If you've got $300 million to spend on one politician, you've got $300 million to buy the other side too.
Church.
So, Republican, Democrat, they're all a bunch of bought and paid for assholes. So there you have it. Okay, moving on. Can I say that? I guess I can. I just did. So if I can't, I'm sure I'll find out. Keep those cards and letters coming. I'm Bon Johnson, BonJonsyn @gmail.com. And by the way, this is KCAA Radio, 102.3 FM. 106.5 FM and 1050 AM in the Inland Empire, and KCAAradio.com all over the world. That's right. We just love saying that. Hey, you know else who plays our show? Radiospaz.com plays our show. They do. And we're very grateful for that. They play us over there at 7 o'clock on Monday nights. They do a replay of the show y'all is hearing right here, right now. Woo! Get down with our bad selves. So that's really cool that they replay our Saturday night show over there. He also does, my boy Eric the Well-Read Suave, who has a show right here on KCAA, by the way, folks. I believe it is on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. Check in and listen to Radio Spaz here on KCAA. It's right after Gary Garver's show, and all y'all know, the whole damn network was built around Gary Garver. Y'all know his show, Controlled Chaos, is 8 o'clock every weekday. So, give my boys a listen. Give me a listen.
Right.
But I also do the 420 Music Break, and we have a 420 Music Break coming up here. And this is where the 420 Music Break originated. When I started doing radio back like 5-6 years ago on Blog Talk Radio, I used to put in the 420 Music Break because I'd get so damn turned up and excited. I just needed a minute to just go smoke a joint and mellow out. So I added the 420 Music Break, and I still have it in for the same reason. Obviously, you don't smoke in a studio because you don't want to mess up the gear. Smoke is very, very bad for gear. So, we do the 420 Music Break here just to relax and have a moment and enjoy some great music because I love independent music. But over on Radiospaz.com, I do a 1-hour 420 Music Break where I get to play all these super groovy songs for an hour long.
Right.
And so, once again, Radiospaz.com, that happens every Thursday at noon. So, y'all, check that out. And if you are a musician, by the way, which my brother Hipsy Guttas over here is a musician. He is an artist, and I've played a lot of his joints on the 420 Music Break, as I actually featured him here as well as there. And if you're an artist, please send in your music to me, Bon Johnson, BonJonsyn @gmail.com. Not just if you're a woman trying to have an orgasm. I also collect independent music. And if you are a woman trying to have an orgasm with independent music, send me 2 emails. Hey, I'm open for all of it. So that's what's going on with the Radiospaz.com thing. That's what's going on with the 420 Music Break. I digress. Let's talk a little bit more about this news that blows. Here's something that blows for ICE.
Yeah.
These guys are going around rounding up people and herding them off.
Right.
And the mayor of Oakland, who is a sanctuary city,
that's right,
had put out public announcements warning people of ICE activity, when they were coming, where they were coming, and how to avoid them. Oh, the government flipped the heck out on her. Oh, get out of here. But her constituents, on the other hand, are loving her. This woman might end up getting a vice presidency bid out of this. I'm so not kidding.
That's how you watch for your people.
That's how you watch for your people. The people who put her in there. She's actually, believe it or not, there's a politician out there, Libby Schaaf, ladies and gentlemen. Her name is Elizabeth Schaaf, SCHAAF.
Okay.
Look her up, check her out. She's actually one of the good politicians who's there for her people.
That's right.
So a politician who doesn't just tell you what you want to hear to get the seat and then turn around and say, screw you, I'm in charge now. So hats off to this woman. I'm super stoked about her and her getting it in like that. The cop out in Sierra Madres, the police officer who was caught red-handed on tape trying to illegally sell guns to the ATF, which, oh, by the way, now has been amended to the ATF and explosives, trying to make it sound like they're really covering us from terrorists, not looking out for three private companies' welfare. I love that. So, anyways, these jerks, this guy, I talked before about how these policemen get put on leave, paid leave. He has been on paid leave for a year after getting caught on tape red-handed.
A whole year.
Now they finally arrested him, and he is no longer on paid leave. Okay, let's move on to our 420 music break. Joint of the show. Oh, yeah. Our joint of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Our 420 music break is by a young man named Nino Supreme. It is called Lights Low. Nino Supreme is a super groovy young guy. He is one of the guys that really makes me feel good about these young and upcoming brothers out there today. So here he is, my boy Nino Supreme. Lights Low.
With the way I push the grind, everybody copy me and lose 50 pounds. Whole country on the wave like a Dodger game. State to state, medicate for the press debate. Donald Clinton or Hillary Trump, the sound messed up. Either way, most of us don't give a f. Either way, no excuses about to turn you up. Prop 6-4 pass, gon' burn it up. Lick rolling tough, got that fire, huh? Light it up, light it up, light it up. At the club bar taking shots, oh Lord. Everybody slurred up, turn your music up. Cut the lights low, bet she gon' go. Tear it up, tear it up, tear it up. Cut the lights low, you know how it go. Up, down like a 6-4. You know how we ride, on the west side. Throw it up, throw it up, throw it up. Gangsta party, yeah, it's all love. That's my blood cousin, say what up, cuz. Moving, whooping, and grooving up north, they go dumb. Counting money all night till my thumbs numb. Nothing less than a slice, we don't do crumbs. Taking chances with your life, gotta make some. Pour a dub in that Sprite, you know your time coming. Found a ladder to success, but you feel sluggish. Monkey on your back, you a lean lover. Old scars in your past from a crack hustle. Your parents used to run that, but you still love them. You cleaned up pretty nice, but you still gutter. You seen the poke about them demons that they still hover. I'm getting paid for my talents like I'm Donald Glover. You in the whole 10 rack, shit wore a rubber. Still loving nigga to death, that's my blood cousin. Cut the lights low, you know how it go. Up, down like a 6-4. You know how we ride, on the west side. Throw it up, throw it up, throw it up. Cut the lights low, you know how it go. Up, down like a 6-4. You know how we ride, on the west side. Throw it up, throw it up, throw it up.
Ooh, that was a little bit hot around the corner, wasn't it?
Muy caliente fuego.
Oh, muy caliente fuego, amigo. That was Nino Supreme, good folk, with Lights Low. And that, you know, that's our 420 music break for the day. And like I says, that cat right there, I train him out at the Inglewood Yacht Club. He's one of the cats who does my Fight for Fitness program, and he always brings people over, and he himself is such an inspiration to others. You know, I was just saying off mic that it's been a long time since somebody 30 years younger than me inspired me the way this young cat does, man. I'm so proud of him. So there you go, Nino Supreme. Good on you, my brother. We'll be right back after these messages.
Cut the lights low, you know how it go. Up, down like a 6-4. You know how we ride, on the west side. Throw it up, throw it up, throw it up.
Another great 420 music break. You know, we got the folks at radiospaz.com to thank for that. The good folk over at radiospaz.com not only re-air this show, News That Blows, every Monday night at 7, they also play my independent music show titled, yep, you guessed it, the 420 Music Break. This is Bon John Sin, and I'm spinning independent music, uncut, uncensored, played exactly the way the artist recorded it. Because that's how they get down over at radiospaz.com. Give us a listen, radiospaz.com.
That's my blood, cuz cut the lights low. You know how it go.
Aw, snap. Your car just broke down, and taking it to a mechanic is so not in the schedule, even if you did know where to find a good one. Sound familiar? Don't trip, friends. Your boy Bon Johnson has got your back. When this scenario becomes your scenario, call Canopy Shop Auto Service. CSAS will send out a top-notch mechanic who will bring out his tools and a canopy and set up shop around your car. It doesn't matter if your car broke down at home, at work, or even out on the street. Canopy Shop Auto Service will set up shop anywhere. And weather problems are no problems for these guys. They and your car are under a canopy. But what I like most about CSAS is that their mechanics always leave your car cleaner than they found it. Yeah, really. So, there you have it. Auto repair made convenient. Call Canopy Shop Auto Service at 424-223-4924. Tell them Bond sent you. Hey, what are you doing in the fridge? Get back in here. It's time for more news that blows.
Oh, bring me a sandwich or something, damn it. Get out the fridge. Hey, you guys, I don't know if you noticed or not, but this week we do not have our News That Blows banner behind us. And, well, first off, I want to thank my boy Mike for even hooking us up with the News That Blows banners. Yeah. But they are in our KSJW Network studios right now, hanging on the wall. I put them on to stretch out, and I was going to bring them, but I screwed up and didn't. So we don't have them here today. But I do want to thank my boy Mike. And I've been wanting to do this the whole show because I'm looking at the camera over here, and I love this work up here that is done by Jenny Love. Check her out on, I believe, Instagram under Jenny Love. That's L-U-V. And Jenny, how does she spell Jenny? G-E-N? Is it
N-I? It looks like. Does it look like
A-Y? I think.
Doesn't it look like Jenny May Love?
Oh, Jenny May. That's it. Jenny May Love. That's what it is. Jenny and May are spelled normal, and Love is spelled L-U-V. So there you have it. This artwork behind us that you see in, the KCAA studio shows that happen right here on 102.3 FM, 105.6 FM, no, 105.6. Where the hell am I?
Right.
Dyslexia, man. Oh. Five. Bond, damn it, 5, man. 106.5. Let's just start that all over. Hi, this is KCAA Radio, 102.3 FM, 106.5 FM, and 1050 AM in the Inland Empire, and KCAAradio.com all over the world.
Well.
Oh, man, we bad. We worldwide. Quit playing. Ooh, it's so much fun being us. All right, folks. I am Bon Johnson. This is News That Blows. We're going to get back into this news that blows. Talk a little bit about, I clowned a little bit about Ryan Seacrest, being the next contestant on The Perv is Ripe. I got to say, this time...
Tell us, what's happened?
Well, apparently the girl who's been his makeup artist for the last 8-10 years has come out saying that he has been constantly for the whole 8-10 years sexually abusive to her, that he has treated her in a rude and crude manner. And somebody else who was in the room stepped forward and vouched her story. Stuff like when she goes down, and once again, this is a woman working hard, going above and beyond, going down and tying the man's shoes. She does makeup. But she's taking care of the dude. She did his makeup. She's down there tying his shoes, and he grabs the back of her head and pushes it in his crotch.
That's silly.
And even though he's not trying to actually get a blowy, it's rude, it's disrespectful, and no lady deserves to be treated that way.
Absolutely.
I mean, come on, y'all. I don't care how much money you have, how much Dick Clark loved you, how deeply rooted you are in this business. Human beings are human beings, and nobody gets the right to treat other people like that. So, I like I says, I try to take all of this with a grain of salt because it seems to be highly in fashion right now to accuse people of sexual abuse. Even back in times when it wasn't seen as sexual abuse, it was seen as funny, kiddie playing, joking, a little patty cake here and there. Some of it's being blown out of proportion. But stuff like that, when someone's trying to do their job, this isn't in his hotel room. This isn't at his house where a lot of these girls all of a sudden find that they didn't want to have sex. What the hell are you doing there? All right, come on, let's keep it real. You got yourself lured into a position you shouldn't have been in. You thought you were going to get something for it, for your career, for your monetary, whatever. Now all of a sudden you want to come out with it. You know, whatever decision you made back then, you should have stuck with it today. But this is a different situation. This is a woman who I think has a legitimate gripe. I got a feel for Kelly Ripa, or Ripa, whatever her name is. Now, he's her brand new show. He's her brand new host. They went through this big thing after Michael Strahan picking her new co-host. Was it going to be Cooper Anderson? Was it going to be the other guy who has a bazillion shows who's her best buddy?
Right.
Well, of course, they went with the big name that is everything in announcers and, you know, in Hollywood. Ryan Seacrest. He is the new Dick Clark. He's the man. Mm. And then this came out.
Maybe not anymore.
Maybe not anymore. And, you know, there's a gang of female actors whose publicity people and agents are saying you've been doing all of this Me Too talking. It would do nothing but thwart everything that you have said, and it would vilify why women allow this to happen if you go talk to him. Because you're saying that he's bigger than this.
Yeah.
That you're going to go show him respect. And that's the same reason these women ended up getting in most of these hotel rooms, because they thought that these guys were going to make something happen for them. But once again, let me reiterate, this is not a woman in a hotel room. This is a makeup artist doing her job.
Exactly.
Not cool. And then, of course, what really sucks is, you know how much courage it takes for a woman to have to step forward and say that,
especially towards somebody like
him. Especially somebody, and she knows that she's not going to get hired again by anybody else. This is such a huge case. She's going to get 8-balled. This is going to cost her career, and sadly so. Yeah. Sadly so. Hopefully a woman will hire her.
Stick up and start supporting
I hope a
her
woman
really
hires her.
Absolutely.
Not just with the Weinstein and what have you, that they now show that it counts for everybody.
Everybody, exactly, and all the way across the board. Yeah. You know, your mama didn't raise you all that way. I can guarantee Ryan Seacrest's mama did not raise him to think it's okay to disrespect ladies like that. I'm sure none of these guys' mamas raised them to think that's all right. And I'm sure none of these guys would like it if I treated their mama that way.
Oh, no.
All right, so let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100, because that's how we do here on News That Blows.
Please do.
These guys are getting thrown under the bus, but they brought that crap on themselves. You'll never hear a story about Bon Johnson sexually abusing anybody, because I don't play grab ass. I don't turn around and say, Lady Albright, hey, you know, how about you and I go out to the parking lot and get it? That's not right. Even though I find you highly attractive, I think you're a gorgeous woman. I mean, even if I wanted to have a personal relationship, this is not the place it happens. It's unprofessional. It is rude, crude, and I personally think totally unacceptable, not just socially, but just as a man. Man up. I talked about how that woman was raising her boys to be bitches last week. Apparently Ryan's mama raised the same thing. So there you go. and the sad part is now it's all just like this big women are everything, and it's all just the pendulum swinging back so hard. Oscar lost his job. His big old gold butt isn't out there anymore just because he's a guy. I mean, come on. See, and when that happens, it goes too far. It doesn't get taken serious. We'll be right back.
I'm Bon Johnson. And as good as I am at the on-air side of radio, I really needed some help with the off-air side. You know, the business side. Then I spoke with my friends at Empowerment Projects International, LLC. Now, I knew that EPI has multi-million, even billion-dollar companies that they work with. But what I didn't know was that those same business strategies could work for me. If you're a small business trying to get bigger or a big company trying to go global, EPI will help you plan, design, implement, and manage your business. Empowerment Projects International, LLC helped to get me on the air, and they'll help to keep me here. Let them do the same for your business. Go to emproj.org and see what Empowerment Projects International, LLC can do for you.
Oi, Captain, the chest has all been buried and the crew is all back aboard. What next, sir?
What day be it?
What day be it? What day be it, sir? I think we're coming up on the weekend, sir.
Good. Then set sail for the Renaissance Pleasure Fair.
set sail for the Renaissance Pleasure Fair.
You are aware that I've already got a pirate.
Yes, sir. All hands on deck. Set sail for the Renaissance Pleasure Fair.
The original Renaissance Pleasure Fair from April 7th to May 20th. Go to renfair.com and get your tickets today.
Come on now, leave that thing alone. It's time for more news that blows.
Put that man on
With me,
blast.
Bon John Sin.
Right? Just put him on blast
Front
like that. You crack me up, Hipsy. All right. I am Bon Johnson. This is News That Blows on KCAA Radio. Loma Linda out there in the San Bernardino and Riverside. The Inland Empire, basically, folks, is where we do our thing on the radio. 102.3 FM, 106.5 FM, and 1050 AM, because we all know everybody still listens to AM radio.
Marvelous.
And, of course, KCAAradio.com all around the world. That's how we rock it, baby! I'm Bon Johnson. I am sitting with the lovely and extremely talented Kirsten Maxine Albright, as well as my boy, not lovely, but twice on the talent, Itsy Cutters. Yep. Quit playing. Yep. My man's got mad hip-hop joints.
Thank you.
I'm featuring one of his joints on the 420 Music Break this week coming up. I'm playing a song called Purgatory 911, y'all.
Yeah.
I told my boy Hipsy Gutters here, you need to go to SoundCloud, you need to go to Bandcamp, check out Hipsy Gutters and listen to Purgatory 911. This is the one that I think personally is going to send you, my friend, over the top.
Yeah,
I've loved your music for years. You know, we've been boys for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think Purgatory 911 is the one that's going to be your airwave song.
I'm humbled by that, Bon.
Well, you know what?
That.
You earned all of that. You got mad skills, my brother, for real. All right, now moving on. Jared Kushner lost his security clearance. His security clearance was downgraded to basically he can't get any more information than you or I can, which kind of sucks because Trump, I don't know if Trump actually knows how to read or if he's paid people to do it for him forever, but he refuses to. He doesn't have the patience. He's probably like me, so damn hyper, he just can't hold the words steady long enough to read. I literally have a hard time reading.
What does he say then? Read this and tell me what it says.
He has Jared Kushner read all of the security briefings. Every single morning, Jared Kushner reads them. He doesn't, and he fills Jared Kushner fills the president in.
Right.
Well, Jared Kushner has had his security clearance taken. He's probably going to end up being persecuted and end up in jail. Because he's he's busted 3 ways to Sunday, and just about everybody and their mother's throwing him under the bus to keep from being under there themselves. So, you know, it is what it is for him. You know, what is it they say in Scarface? You lay down with Spanish dogs, you wake up with, or you lay down with Peruvian dogs, you wake up with Spanish fleas, or something like that. So homeboy's scratching in a big way, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Old Jared Kushner is not feeling the love. Hell,
all bad.
All bad for him. I'm heartbroken. Really. You can tell by the deep sincerity in my voice. At the same time, Hope Hicks resigns from her gig as the White House Director of Communications. Hope Hicks has been Trump's right-hand person, his confidant, for a long time now, long before I ever thought about being president.
Really?
Yeah, that's why she hasn't been thrown out in public like everybody else. He actually gives a crap about her. She is his confidant. She's the one who gives him the real deal advice. That's the one he's listening to. He kind of went off on her when she spoke badly about the guy who beat up his wife that was in the cabinet who had to resign. He didn't like the fact that she didn't stand up for him, and he voiced that. Well, she got pulled into old Mueller's commission and had to answer some questions and admitted to lying for Trump. That's part of her job, is lying for him.
Wow.
Obviously, he didn't take it well. She knew he wouldn't. She resigned before he even had a chance to fire her.
Right.
And she's probably also resigning because at this point there is a definite conflict of interest. She's about to rat him out. She already started to. She's already said, look, I didn't do this. I didn't commit treason. I am not purging myself. I did it as my job, which means that she did it under direct orders of the president, which really ties in greatly to the collusion thing. So I think Mueller has her where he wants her, and she is getting out of Trump's firing range. Now, the whole thing with Barbara Streisand cloning her dog, there has been a huge war going on between religion and science forever about this whole cloning thing. Barbara Streisand, I guess, is the only one who's above it all, and she can just... I mean, Italy cloned a lamb, and it was crazy. There were like debates and riots and rallies. You know, religious people were going nuts, saying that science had stepped too far.
Played God.
I haven't heard anybody say a thing about Barbara Streisand doing it. I guess she's above it all, man. I knew she was fabulous. I just didn't know how fabulous she apparently is. So Babs can do whatever the hell she wants. I mean, you know what? Babs, clone a bunch of them dogs, man. You know, go ahead and make fun of all of them. It's just cracks me up how science can't move forward under our government and everything, but when a rich woman wants her dog cloned, boy, they jump right up and get her done. Once again, America being made great right before your very eyes if you got the money. All right. We're going to be back in a little bit. We got another commercial break coming up because, well, golly gosh darn it, I can't afford to just do this as a hobby. And I appreciate all of my sponsors paying for these commercial spots. So I'd appreciate y'all listening to them for me. Oh, and you know that whole part that says, tell them Bon John Sin sent you? Do that. It's nice if they know that you're actually hearing this cock on the radio. Yeah. News and Blows. We'll be right back.
Riddle me this. Since The Tonight Show left the building, what else is there to do in the city of Burbank? Well, you can always go visit the Martial Arts History Museum. Learn about how martial arts was created, then banned and hidden away for years, until finally resurfacing to become the phenomenon it is today. The curator of the Martial Arts History Museum, Michael Matsuda, has also put together an amazing collection of martial arts movie memorabilia, like Liu Kang's shield from Mortal Kombat, and even the weaponry created by Gerald Okamura used in Bruce Lee films. The Martial Arts History Museum also hosts lots of great events, at which you might just meet some of the stars from your favorite action films. The past, the present, and the future of martial arts can all be found at the Martial Arts History Museum. Go to martialartsmuseum.com, then go to the Martial Arts History Museum. I'm Bon John Sin, and I'm asking you to please support martial arts and support the Martial Arts History Museum. Greetings, folk. I'm Bon John Sin. I host a new talk radio show called News That Blows, where I'll be taking a somewhat cynical look at the stories in the week's news, every Saturday night at 7 p.m. Pacific Time on KCAA Radio, 102.3 FM, 106.5 FM, and 1050 AM in the Inland Empire, and KCAAradio.com all over the world. Because as long as there's news, there will always be news that blows. Don't go getting all soft on me now. We still got a little bit more news that blows.
That's right. Can y'all say it with me? As long as there's news, there will always be news that blows. All right, guys, I talked a little bit about how we are at war. We've been at war for a little while now. The war actually started before Trump came in. He's a small piece of it. Putin just threw down the next phase in what is his game plan, which is flexing his muscles. He showed all his weaponry and basically called America a bunch of punks and said, I can take you out when and whenever, wherever I want. My missiles can dodge. They basically are trying to tell us they created the magic bullet and they're coming to get us with it. So what I told you to look up in The Art of War, the tactics being used right now are being used, people, on us. Divide and conquer. The whole game plan. Sun Tzu was the greatest genius ever when it came to war. He did make war an art. So please, once again, if you want to understand what is going on with your country, what is going on with the world, what is happening to us right here, right now in America, read The Art of War. It will become crystal sparkling clear. I don't just say that because I don't make money off The Art of War. Hell, I don't know who makes money off of it. The guy died like 4,000 years ago, Sun Tzu.
It's factual stuff.
Somebody's making money, maybe
Right.
somewhere. But the truth of the matter is, it is what is exactly happening to us right here in our own country. So there you have it, folks. Do your homework, read The Art of War, figure out what the hell's going on right here in America. I'm Bon Johnson. This has been News That Blows. I want to thank Kirsten Maxine Albright, my boy Hipsy Gutters, in 623, You and Me Is We, right here on KCAA Radio on News That Blows. We'll catch you all then.
Be safe.
See ya. Good job, dude.
KCAA